We are Sharon and Mike. Sharon Abreu and Michael Hurwicz, the Irthlingz Duo. I'm trying to get more in the frame there, kiddo, if you want to. It's always a little challenging with Facebook Live. But here we are. So today is, of course, Veterans Day. Originally, however, it was called Armistice Day back in 1918 after World War I, also called the Great War, also called the War to End All Wars. So how come we're still having wars? That's a good question, which we're not going to talk about today very much, but it is something that we will be talking about in the days and weeks and months to come. Today we are honoring Armistice Day, which is still celebrated in other countries as a day of peace, a day to celebrate the end of war. Not in any way to disrespect all the people who have put their lives in harm's way, believing they were defending our country, even if that wasn't actually what they were doing. And we can talk more about that in the coming weeks and months. But this is not to dishonor anybody. It's just to say, I think we need to reclaim Armistice Day. Okay, so our first song, let's step in now to this something called the Peace Room. Now, I heard Dennis Kucinich, Democrat, former Representative Dennis Kucinich, describe this concept of a peace room, which would be as important as a war room and probably actually more important than a war room because it would address and prevent violence at all levels of society. And there's actually still legislation that exists for this in the U.S. legislature. It is H.R. 1111. You can check it out for the creation of a cabinet-level Department of Peace building. But this is how he described the concept of a peace room, which is actually, it's a room and it's also goes beyond a room. So here we go. 2, 3. When the wars have left us broken in a world of greed and fear, when we've reached our end and we have to mend, there's a place and it's right here. The peace to heal our spirits, oh yes, we'll be there soon. A living place, a healing space, step inside the peace room. Its function is to welcome the emergent beings of Earth. Space to safely welcome a planetary birth. So clearly in my vision, I feel its resonance. The field in which we all are one. If we build it, they will come. In the peace room, there's room for all. We share our stories, hear our call. Creativity's exchange. No one can enter and not feel changed. Its walls extend beyond our sight to a field of endless light, where deepest, highest aspirations bloom. Step inside the peace room. Through this great vision that we share, we can replicate it anywhere. It resonates through every land in a language we all understand. Our voices will reverberate, shift frequencies, and soon a new millennium will start here inside
the peace room. In the peace room, there's room for all to share our stories, hear our call. Creativity's exchanged. No one can enter and not feel changed. Its walls extend beyond our sight to a field of endless flight, where deepest, highest aspirations bloom. Step inside. Step inside. The peace room.
Peace Room by Sharon Abreu.
Well, people have been working for peace, striving for peace. Hi, Herb. Herb says he's only getting left channel. I have no idea. We do appreciate sound feedback. We really do. Because we only really know what's going on right here.
Okay, let's see if that...
Not sure we even know that.
I think that is expected, Herb.
Ah, okay.
Herb, I mean, sorry.
So we hope that's your good ear. Got to retune here a little bit because I am capifying. So we do want to honor our veterans. Absolutely want to honor our veterans. But we also really want to reclaim Armistice Day, pardon me, as a day of peace and an end to war. Because really, so many people have actually lifted themselves and their families out of poverty by joining the military. And that's a very honorable thing. However, we are killing a lot of people for no good reason, and in our opinion. And we could talk about that in the weeks and months to come. But yeah, there's a really good reason for reclaiming Armistice Day, as it was going back to 1918 and until I believe it was 1954 when it was changed to Veterans Day, which really changed the energy and the purpose of the day. Thank you, Layla. Hi. Glad you like that song, The Peace Room. Hi, Annette, our friend Annette. Hi, Annette in South Carolina. This is wonderful. It's so difficult being separated from each other, and yet every time I do a Facebook Live or a Zoom, I kind of feel like I'm at my own funeral, because there's people from every different facet of my life, from all over the country, and I just really deeply appreciate how the technology actually does connect us a lot of the time.
I will say, too, on the sound thing, we've only got one microphone on us. So I'm thinking, whether you got left and right or just left or just right or whatever, probably wouldn't matter.
Okay, we'll talk about the technology later. But anyway, getting back to this, 1950 was the date. Am I right? We're doing that one? Yes, we are. In 1950, this song was written. It's called "Last Night I Had the Strangest Dream." Oh my gosh, who wrote this song? It just
Ed McCurdy?
Ed McCurdy, thank you. He's got the memory cells. I don't know.
No, that ain't true.
That's why there's two of us, because one of us usually remembers something.
Half. That's the deal.
Okay, so this was written by Ed McCurdy exactly 70 years ago, and we're still trying to stop the wars. So we're going to be talking about that. Okay, here is "Last Night I Had the Strangest Dream," our version of it. Last night. Hang on,
I've got a question. Is the bass coming through?
Ah, good question.
Or do I need to turn the bass up?
If you hear the bass, give us a shout out. He's playing this little ukulele bass, which can have a big sound, potentially. Okay, here we go, babe. Okay. Thought it was my... Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. Last night I had the strangest dream by Ed McCurdy, 1950.
Last night I had the strangest dream I'd ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a room so full of people making amends, and the paper they were signing said they'd never fight again. And when the paper was all signed and a million copies made, they all joined hands and bowed their heads, and grateful prayers were prayed. And the people in the streets below were dancing round and round, while swords and guns and uniforms scattered on the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream I'd ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war.
Strangest Dream by Ed McCurdy.
So I talk a lot about peace, and I have to be, just put it right out there every single time. I am not the most peaceful person in the world, but I was born in 1963. I was born 8 months before JFK was assassinated. I feel very connected to the peace movement, civil rights movement, and I don't know exactly why, because I was shielded from all of that was happening in the 60s. But when I became aware of it, I just felt so connected to it. And I've been learning how to actually create more peace in myself, because I think I kind of need to do that if I'm going to create peace in the world around me. I mean, I really do think that we're all energy and everything is connected. Everything's affecting everything else in one way or another. Okay, so here's a song I wrote a bunch of years ago called Be Peace. It's just a repetitive little song, and we're going to sing it through 3 times. Hang on. I haven't got that one. Here we go. I pray for peace in this world, for all people. I pray for peace in this world, for all people. But I know prayer is not enough, not enough. I must be peace. Feel it in my body and soul. Be peace. Fill my heart and mind with a glow only love can I'm barely hearing through the right. Yes, there seems to be a left issue. We'll have to fix that. I could not hear Mike. You mean you didn't hear the bass, or you didn't hear his vocals? I hear she. Oh, now she hears you. Oh,
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because we really pride ourselves on our harmonies, so it kind of need to hear both of us. Yeah. So I was saying how connected I am to the peace movement and the civil rights movement of the '60s, and to the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Well, here's a song that was written by Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary, along with Cynthia Weil and Barry Mann. It was written in the early 70s, and I think it really speaks to people who have just put so much of their time and energy and heart and soul into bringing about peace. Thank you, Lael. Thank you. And we're not there, and that's very hard. And there are people I know that are in their, like me, in my 50s, people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s, that are still working to end the military-industrial complex that President Eisenhower warned the American public about in his farewell televised address in January 1961. That was before I was born. And we're still working for it. So why is that? I think we need to look at that. And this song is for all of those people. It's called Sweet Survivor. Oh, and I need to... the gift of gab, but not the gift of retuning my guitar. So I'll take a second to do that. By the way, I just want to say that I learned this song from my good friend Nancy Heller, who was my very first folk music partner. We started doing music together back in Greenwich Village when we were in college at NYU. And we, unfortunately, were witnessing the slow and painful final gasps of the folk music movement of the 60s. But we were there, and we played at Folk City and Speakeasy on McDougal Street, and she taught me this song. And by the way, this Pace sign behind us, the flag, my sister was in Italy and thought of me, me being the peacenik of the family, and she bought me this Pace flag. Okay, I think we can manage it. Okay, here's Sweet Survivor. Just bring that down a bit. Here we go. 3, 4. Let me hear your... I'm going to tune you a little. Okay. 3, 4. You have asked me why the days fly by so quickly, and why each one feels no different from the last. And you say that you are fearful of the future, and you have grown suspicious of the past. And you wonder if the dreams we shared together have abandoned us, or we abandoned them. And you cast about and try to find new meaning, so that you can feel that closeness once again. Carry on, my sweet survivor. Carry on, my lonely friend. Don't give up on the dream. Don't you let it end. Carry on, my sweet survivor. Though you know that something's gone, for everything that
each person mattered. When we all had to care or all was lost. But now you see believers turn to cynics, and you wonder, was the struggle worth the cost? Then you find someone too young to know the difference, and the veil of isolation in their eyes, and inside you know you've got to leave them something, or the hope for something better slowly dies. Carry on, my sweet survivor, carry on, my lonely friend. Don't give up on the dream, don't you let it end. Carry on, my sweet survivor, though you know that something's gone for everything that matters. Carry on, my sweet survivor. You've carried it so long, so it may come again. Carry on, carry on, carry on. Oh my.
Peter Yarrow,
Peter
Sweet
Yarrow,
Survivor.
Cynthia Mann, Barry Weil, yeah. So, you know, when George W. Bush got in and we started down that path to invading Afghanistan, and I hope you read the Afghanistan papers if you haven't. And thank you, Carlo Fortunato. Molto grazie. We, you know, I knew that Iraq War was a big mistake. I knew it. Hans Blix, the UN's weapons inspector, knew it. A lot of people knew it. A lot of people who should know knew it. And why didn't our Congress seem to know it, except for a couple of very outspoken people? That's when I started paying attention to Dennis Kucinich, to Ron Paul, because they were so outspoken against invading Iraq. We have a terrible addiction to war in this country, and we have to look at how the money's flowing and how it's been flowing for a very, very long time. So I would like to read something I wrote here. It's just a little spoken word thing. I can get it on here. Let's see. Now, I just wrote this too, and for some reason I've been talking about it for a long time. I've been saying, you know, I really feel like we need to do some kind of an intervention, like you do for a loved one when they're addicted to something, right?
Let me hold this up so you'll be looking kind of
No,
in the
that's
right
okay.
direction.
Oh, okay. I'll hold it. I got it here. Okay. So here we go. This is my little rap on intervention, which may become a song. But when you have a government that's addicted to war, use your voice. That's what it's for. There's a time to speak up and a time for dissension. When you love an addict, do an intervention. Our military's got a complex of industrial strength. That's why these wars are of protracted length. So many people are dying, losing limbs and homes, no clean water to drink, turning into bones. It's on us right now. Necessity is the mother of invention. It's time for an intervention of epic proportion. Time to call out the lies and all kinds of distortions. Addiction's hard to break, but you know, it's a mistake to divert our attention. We need an intervention. Peace is patriotic. In fact, it's huge. It's not quixotic. Peace is life-affirming and smart. All it takes is a little more heart. We want peace, and this country is ours. So let's shake out those ivory towers. I mean no disrespect to those who have fought, But what has all this killing bought? We are one people, and did I mention we need an intervention? Thank you.
Intervention by Sharon Abreu.
Okay.
And I think this will be our last song.
Yes, this is
This
our
is
last
one
song.
you probably know, Down by the Riverside.
And this song was very popular during the Civil Rights Movement. It's a wonderful sing-along. And one of the things I love about Down by the Riverside is you can just keep adding verses. We had, I think, broke a record with the number of verses added to this song when we were at Occupy Seattle a number of years ago, and we had people around the Sing Peace Gypsy Wagon. And a shout out to our friend Pushkara Sally Ashford on Whidbey Island for starting the Sing Peace Pilgrimage for Peace and Global Harmony, of which we are very happy to be a part. Go for it. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say the verses we're going to do. The verses that Sharon pretty much just made up are: we're going to stop all these endless wars down by the riverside. We're going to reclaim Armistice Day down by the riverside. We're going to be a peace patriot down by the riverside. We're going to speak peace to everyone down by the riverside. And we're going to teach peace in all our schools down by the riverside.
I don't have perfect pitch, but I suffer enough without it. And I don't want you to suffer. Okay, I'm going to need my little peepers for this to see those verses because I didn't make them big. So, okay. Here we go. 2, 3, 4.
Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. Study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Gonna stop all these endless wars down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna stop all these endless wars down by the riverside. Study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. We're gonna reclaim Armistice Day down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. We're gonna reclaim Armistice Day down by the riverside. Study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I'm gonna be a peace patriot down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna be a peace patriot down by the riverside. Study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Gonna speak peace to everyone one. Down by the riverside, study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. We're gonna teach peace in all our schools. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. We're gonna teach peace in all our schools. Down by the riverside, study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more.
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being part of our commemoration of Armistice Day, Veterans Day, formerly known as Armistice Day, which was a day of peace, still is in some countries, a day to celebrate peace and an end to war. Let's reclaim Armistice Day today. Thank you all so much, and thank you for all your service of whatever kind you're moved to serve. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.